Welcome back to uh, another episode of Rügsæk Solo. Last time we found out that, or we decided with the dice that Marcela, or Marcy, as I think I'm going to call her now, was going to be the new main character of the story. But I don't know if you also remember that Curtis Cutpurse wanted to come along. I rolled a double, and I thought, why not just up the chances of this for a success of this adventure and not have mm, like so yeah, okay, I thought, why not double up on characters. I usually don't play with two characters when I play solo roleplay, but I thought, why not this time. So yeah, so I've behind the curtain, I went ahead and I rolled Marcy. It's already changed that, so because it's easier for me to remember. So Marcy, I rolled that she was I said that it couldn't be the same sort of character, so she couldn't be a mage or yeah. So, but Marcy turned out to be a corroded knight, and yeah, she is wielding a two-handed sword, which gives her an attack power of +2, and she has a plate armor on, so she's quite. She can take some beating. The thing is, I didn't. Yeah, I rolled the all-rounder stats again for her, but I thought that it could be funny to give her like a little lower strength die because you know that it's more likely that she will crit on a D8 than on a D10. A bit more likely. So, and when a corroded knight crits, you can see down here. The next roll she can roll. She can use a 20-sided die, and I thought, why not up the chances for that? She can, of course, then not carry as much. Yeah, and I also thought, okay, while she is sort of tanky in a way, I thought I would give her a faith of D10 and a brains of D10, so she can both withstand uh, faith prayers if I'm at some sort of necromancer cleric type, or I can also uh, pretty okay withstand spell attacks. So yeah, as you can see, and then I thought, okay, she's a knight, a corroded knight, and I thought that Curtis could be sort of her squire. So I rolled Curtis Peppers. And yeah, let's see if we can get it all in there. So Curtis Cutpurse, I actually rolled for him. I rolled him to be a goblin loot snatcher, but I thought, why not just call it for the sake of this? I'm not. I really like goblins, but I thought it could be more fitting. I don't know, for the setting, if he was a gnome loot snatcher. So he still has dark vision, um, and he's still got the loot snatcher's magical loot sack, which gives him 12 inventory slots, uh, even though his strength, uh, is low. It's just 12 inventory slots, no matter what your strength is. So it's a magical loot sack. And I thought, yeah, I actually rolled it, so I didn't choose him to be a loot snatcher, but it all kind of turned out. So you can say that Curtis Scott Purse, even though he's He's the gang of the he's the new gang we haven't established a name for yet. Uh, yeah, I thought that it would be sort of funny that if he was sort of like, like Marcy's squire. And he's also, even though he's really good, has a high agility and yeah, and pretty good with a bow, I thought he could be like the torchbearer of sorts. But he's pretty capable of both fighting and firing a bow. Uh, yeah, I guess that's. Oh yeah, his attack power is +1, and he's got a light armor of +1. And for him, I rolled. What is it that I call them again? One sec. I think I call. Oh yeah, the typical array with the D6, D8, and D10 and D12. So yeah, and actually, speaking of the character sheets, I have maybe come up with some ideas for uh, advancement of characters. Uh, that's one thing, and I have maybe also got an idea for uh, another way to use your ability die. We can return to that later or in another video, but let's carry on for this. Okay. So the story. One sec. Yeah, and I went ahead also and did some portraits of Marcy and Curtis. Uh, yeah, that's they look like that. I thought that it's something like that, and I don't know, a corroded knight. I tried to draw like she's been lying in water, or her armor has been lying in water. I don't know. You can the interpret however you like the corroded side of a corroded knight. I did not buy a helm for her. Maybe I should have done that. But anyhow, I figured she was sort of young, uh, and I also um, the thing. No, yeah, yeah. There's the whole story about Marcy, because when I took her in to be the new main character, I had to give her like a background. And we rolled that Marcy sort of doesn't, even though she's a diplomat, doesn't speak the common tongue. I thought it could be quite fun actually to change it up a bit and say that Marcy she can't speak any word at all at the moment. She used to be a diplomat, even though she's still quite young, or in the mid-20s maybe, or late 20s. Uh, yeah, the thing is that uh, the reason, or part of the reason why she's so afraid of uh, sharing in the last session the information with Emir is that uh, uh, sort of evil, maybe not evil, but um, what's the English word for that? Sort of a wizard of sorts had magically stolen her voice because he didn't want her to uh, um, like uh, be the diplomat in this sort of uh, use her diplomatic skills, because there were some factions. I'm not going into detail about it. I want to hold the door open to what that could mean. But the thing is that why she's so afraid of letting Ymir know this secret is because she doesn't want the wizard to get upset and totally like um, destroy her voice for good. I think she knows that the wizard has captured her voice in some sort of container, bottle, or something like that, magically. Um, so right now, Marcy doesn't have a voice. She can't, if you get my draft. Okay. And the way I figure this, the story goes off today is that, as I said last time, Marcy is getting more and more nervous. She's It's gone maybe 2, 3 days has passed, and she haven't heard anything back. Not a word from Emir, and she's getting really, really, really worried. And Marcy thinks and thinks and thinks and wanders around. She hasn't almost slept for 3 days, and she finally decides that it's time to take action. And she goes and finds Curtis. And by the way, uh, this job that Emir started, I figured behind the behind the scenes that Curtis did not know that Emir wanted to do this for him. So when Marcy comes over, Curtis is like, "What? He did what? Why did he do that? What? I mean, why on earth would he do that?" And Marcy is sort of maybe, yeah. She's not saying it because she can't speak, and she's like, "What do you want to say, Marcy?" Curtis says, and Marcy gets a piece of paper. That's how she communicates nowadays. And she writes that it's maybe my fault. I told him that I know of the hideout of the Brotherhood of the Dead Eye. Okay, here we are back at the lookout tower. I think I accidentally removed the drawing of the lookout tower, but I guess you remember. Anyways, if you zoom in on the yellow button down there, that's where the lookout tower is and where uh, Marcy and Curtis are now heading. They're not going down unprepared. They have uh, equipped themselves with efficient torches. So, yeah, but they're really anxious as they approach the tower. And I think we should go ahead and make the first, see how the scene starts. 17. So that is a wrong chart. Here we are. A difficult situation. Inconvenience makes things work, or intel was not accurate. An inconvenience. There are some tables here I could use. What sort of inconvenience could there be at the tower? Remember that they don't know the fate of Emir. Oh, there's an inconvenience table here, so we can roll what the inconvenience could be. "16. An area condition." Okay. My really first initial thought was that the tower was collapsed. I don't know. Let me just quickly think it through or talk it through with you. Okay. It's past 3 days. And I think that if they were alerted even before, they knew that we were looking into them, or that Emir was. But now they're even more alert, and they're trying to hide their tracks or whatever. So, but inconvenient is just an inconveniency. It's not a I mean, it's like a stone in your shoe. It's not like the tower collapsed and now they can't get in, I guess. But uh, what did it say again? An area condition. It could also just be. Oh yeah, one sec. Let's hold the thought. We need to roll the weather, actually. So let's get tabletop on up. I don't know if you remember, but when you roll the weather here, you have to roll a couple of dice. So D20, 6 for the temperature, and that's cold. We even had a cold dungeon. So it's cold with torrential. It's pissing down, right? Like, okay. So that's exactly why I wanted to roll the weather, but because I also thought it could be, yeah, if they haven't secured the tower, maybe this area is getting so much water that it actually floods, not much, but into the tower ground floor and further down into where the trapdoor was. I'm quickly going to ask because I think that the guard or whoever is in charge down there must have closed the hatch again. So it's a D10 versus a D6. So it's a probability die of D10 and a D6. So that's 8 above. Yes, the hatch is closed, so it's maybe the rain gets a little bit down, but the hatch is closed. They don't know that, but so it was a yes and maybe it's locked. Oh, can you remember that I said that maybe it's when it locks, it's like it makes when it closes. There's a mechanism that kind of shuts it off completely. Let's see what we can do about that. But I think the inconvenience of the gum table, the area condition was that it just was pissing down. And actually, I think I need to roll to see if it's snowing also. No, only if it's freezing, sorry. I'm not really need to roll the cloud courage because I guess it's yeah, I do actually because you can roll a storm, so I also need to roll the weather. I'm going to do that. Yes, we almost had a storm. It was overcast. The dice are lining up nicely today. Okay, so they Marcy and Curtis walk into the ground floor of the tower via an uh, uh, opening there. I'm thinking that there's a sort of a hole because it's so crumpled. Uh, but they're almost like there's so much water in here that it's like it reaches their half of their almost up to their knees uh, in water, muddy water. It's just pissing down. And what can they do? I think because Marcy knows of this entrance. Uh, is this the only entrance that she knows? Can they go somewhere else? This is really bad. I mean, I have to look at the character sheets. What are their options here? you know, Curtis has a pair of lockpicking tools. I'm going, and I think he's really, 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 he's really clever with those lockpicking tools. But is it can he fiddle around with the mechanism? It's not like a lock, with a key. But him being a gnome, he might have some extra in his. It's not like I'm just going to say this, not the usual kind of lockpicking tools you see on everyday thief. I think these are the lockpicking tools of a gnome. So I think he got the tools. Uh, shall we be fair and roll about it and make it a 50-50? I guess so. Don't even want to roll because I can see that will be. No, they don't. But I'm okay. I'm going to use this to my advantage and say that the lockpicking tools are not going to help him, but there is a secret. We established last time that there was a handle with 4 positions, and I think there is a trick to bypass the locking mechanism to put it into this state, and I think it's going to take a brains roll from. Normally it would be an agility roll but this is not only agility. This is going to be a brains roll for Curtis. So he has a D8 in brains, and I think if this doesn't work, I don't think they have anywhere else to go and even try to look for this. They could, but and maybe they can just use violence, but that would of course attract guards. But okay, let's have Curtis try with his brains. So, didn't I say last time that it was a 12 in difficulty? I forgot to write that somewhere. I forgot to write Curtis' hard points and maybe also Marcy's. Yeah. Anyways, let me roll. He rolled highest, or high, so that's 8, and a d12. Well, what do you know? Okay, he passes it. So he figures it out just by pulling the handle. Not just pulling. I think he's really clever. Actually, he can hear it with his gnome ears. That it must be this way, or maybe this way, and then he's just trying to. Um, gnome power. Okay, clonk, and the water rushes down. Are there any guards down there? They're getting a surprise now. It's a dead sure, I think. So I'm rolling with a probability die of 12, d12 versus a difficulty die of 4. So it's a no, but never mind that. Okay, so there are no guards down there, but my first thought is that there is a trap. The trap is still there. Oh my god, I forgot about the trap. No guards, but a trap. Could also be no guards, but an alarm and a trap. Okay, I'm going to roll a 50-50. 1, 2, 3, it's an alarm. 4, 5, 6, it's a trap. Ah, I put myself on the... Yeah. Okay, so it's an alarm. The question is, when there is an alarm, do they send every force into this room they have down there, or is it just like a guard group? I don't know. I think it can be anything from the guard. I mean, from last time was a big guard, so he's sort of difficult. And I think maybe it could be him plus 4 more. So I'm going to say there's a chance of that really difficult guard plus maybe 1 to 4 more. I'm rolling the dice. Okay, so the big guard guy and his little sidekick. Okay, that's not too bad. Okie dokie. So let's get the map up. I use this map for Clip Studio Paint made by KO Clips. He's a YouTuber and solo player, and he makes awesome art videos. And yeah, I'm just a fanboy of him. So he made this how to draw a dungeon in Clip Studio Paint. And I accidentally happened to draw as well, so I just found this dungeon drawing template super useful that he made. So I'm thumbs up for that, KO Clips. So I'm sorry, I'm just getting the map up so I can see it a bit better. Okay, so water pours down into this hole, and the thing you can see on your right there on the map is a table. And we established last time that there's a door to the left and a corridor to the east. Okay, so they're walking in, and I think, yeah, they come down, but they can instantly hear the guards, and they're probably rushing down now into the room. They see the corpse of Ymir on the floor. I think they are standing about here. So they're totally terrified, of course, seeing Ymir's body quite dead on the floor. Blue is, I think, Marcy, and the yellow torch is Bertis. So I think, okay, yeah. Small is around here, I think. I think that big just stumbles in over here, over Ymir. Okay, let's do this. We have a fight on our hands already. Oh yeah, yeah. Also, huge thanks to my twin brother Klaus, who have made all the music for my videos, except one song I had at the end last time. But he also made today's Dungeon Delve music or theme. So huge thanks to Klaus. I'm going to edit that into the video. Okay, anyways, a fight. So this huge ogre-like guard flies into the guard room, and he sees Curtis and Marcy, and he thinks that Marcy is the biggest red. But let's be fair and let's roll the dice as we should. It's actually, I rolled a free turn. It's Curtis who starts because he's like the most nimble. And he's going to attack someone on his own dice. So he, oops, yeah, I can't. I have to have that up. Curtis steps up here, and then he has a sword. He swings his sword. And the difficulty of the little guy is just an 8. I think he's quite regular. And the other one was a 12. So the guy has an 8 hard points 12, and the little guy had hard points of. Okay, so little guy is rolling to defend himself. Okay, okay. He has 1 in armor value, and I have +1 in attack power. So it's 11 versus 7. That's 4 above. So I hurt him for 4. So he's in one strike. Curtis took away half of his hard points. This is going way better than Emir, but Emir is a spellcaster, so yeah, I guess you can't blame him. So it's Marcy's turn, and Marcy is going for the big guy, totally. She has a strength of D8, and the big guy was D12. So, okay. She rolls a 7 plus 2, that's 9, and the big guy has armor value of 1, so that's 9 versus 9. So it's a cling! They carry each other out. Okay, so then it's just easy because that was the free turn, so it's can actually decide that it's Marcy's turn now, but let's just say that it's Curtis, and he strikes out after the little guy. So it was a D10 plus 1, 6 versus a D8 plus 1. So that's 1 point of damage. So now it's Marcy against the big guy. Yes, she swings her two-handed sword against the grotesque enemy. Oh God. Rolls a 1, so that's 3. Now let's check it out. And versus a D12. uh, they both fumble. They don't fumble per se, but they both rolled their lowest. So let's see. Marcy got 3, and he has 3 attack power plus 1, so it's 4. He actually, yeah, because it's Marcy attacking. No, it's not attack power I'm adding. Sorry, it's armor value. So Marcy's going to hit him for that's 3, and he has armor value of 1, so that's 2. She's hitting him for 1 hard point, so he's down to 11. Okay, now I roll the hazard die. See what happens. Okie dokie. The opponents act first. Okay, so okay, I'm going to say that it's the big guy, and he lunges out after Marcy. So now I'm putting on my defense glasses, so to say. Um, 7 plus 3, that's 10. That's a 1 plus 3, so it's 4. Oh my god. He's doing Marcy 6 points of damage. Which brings her down to 2 points, 2 hard points. Uh, shit. Sorry. And now it's the little guy who's lunging out for Curtis. Yes. So that's an 8 plus 1. That's 3. And he has a D10 plus an armor value of 1. Yeah. Little guard misses Curtis. So now it's Marcy's turn. Come on, get a good roll, Marcy. You can do it. D8 plus 3. That's 8. Okay, she misses. Okay. So it's Curtis's turn. Lunges out for the little guy. Okay, that's 2. He misses. Okay, I'm rolling the combat hazard die. That's a free turn. That is really, really, really what we needed, actually. So it's like I get extra attack. Okay, come on, Marcy, you can do it. D8 plus 2. Did I actually say that she plus 3 before? She's only plus 2. No, okay, anyways, never mind. That's 6. She misses. Let's just take both her turns now, shall we? So again. That's 3. Uh, plus she misses. I think that the little guard is not a threat at all. So I'm going to say that Curtis attacks the big guy as well. Let's try it. He's okay. Let's do this. Plus 1, that's 5. He hits him for 1. Um, so down to 10. It's same thing. Whew, that's really good. So okay, that's 9. That's 7. He hurts the big guy for 7 points. That's a really, really, really strong hit for Curtis. Down to 3. Ouchie. Okay, I'm rolling the hazard die. 5. Sign. Okay, that's a new one. The player characters observe opponent's weakness. Denote the difficulty die one step. So the sort of the monster score gets one die step lower. That's really, really good. Whew, I'm lucky here. So yeah, let's see. So the big guy now has a D10 instead, and the little guy now has a D6. So they're kind of learning their moves. So, and it's our turn to attack, and they both focus on the big guy, who's now slightly smaller. And I think Marcy goes first. He hasn't had a proper hit yet. That's 5. God damn it! Plus, she misses. Okay, it's really bad rolls. Curtis charges again. Is it D10 plus 1? Oh my god! That's 2. He misses. Now it's the opponent's turn. Ah. And I think the big guy is still on Marcy because he can see that he's really hurt before and he's trying to finish Marcy off. Um, okay. Okay. This is really, 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 really bad. I keep rolling high for the enemies, don't I? So that's a 10 in total. Okay. Marcy goes down. And she has to do a faith roll. Yes. I made this a pretty unfair game, and it could be quite fun to read the combat section actually, because I warned the reader not to pick a fight. And what do I do? Yes. Let's roll her. Let's roll her faith roll, shall we? So Marcy has a D10 in faith, and it's against the opponent's difficulty die, and his difficulty die is now a D10. So it's a D10 versus a D10. That's bad. Okay. Adventurers in Rügsæk, be warned. Okay, Marcy dies. This is how horrible. I'm going to read the combat section for you, if you haven't already. Where is the combat section? Am I blind? Okay, Rügsæk. Rügsæk combat is not soft on the player characters, and they will die if they run head-on into every encounter. Instead, try and think of clever ways to go around a fight. That said, combat can be very fun game-wise, but be wise and best avoid it. Combat is always the last resort. Yes, I wrote that. I can see that I also forgot to move the Marcy's not going to use it anymore, I guess. Uh, I'm I'm so oh, it's even a nice portrait of Marcy. Okay, come on, Curtis. Uh, okay. I think actually that was a big guy's attack, right? So it's the small guy. He's going to hit on after Curtis. Uh, okay. He misses Curtis. So opponents act first. Oh, this fight is so horrible. What have I done? Okay, it's a big guy versus Curtis. And Curtis is, of course, completely and extremely um, afraid and panicking almost. So but let's see. He's furious. Okay. D10 plus 3. He misses Curtis. So, oh, he hurts Curtis for 3. The little guy. And this is the first time I think that Curtis has lost. He's down to 7 hard points. And now it's Curtis' turn. He's going to hit after the big guy who has 3 hard points left. Okay, okay. Decent. That's 9 plus 2, 1. And that's 10. Okay. Okay. That's that's 8 points of damage. Couldn't he have rolled that before? He kills the big guy with his sword. Like full of rage and anger, he just uh, disarms the giant and slices his head off. And I think it's time to roll the a Thor. What is that? Uh, well, oh yeah, shifts. It's a shift locality. The fight moves. Uh, okay, and I'm going to roll actually on the gum table. There's a great table for that. So one sec, I'm going to go back to this other screen so you can look along and get. Whoops, where did gum go? I think one sec. I don't know. I lost gum. Here it is. There's this table for combat events. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, going to make it a bit smaller so you can actually look along. Yeah. So let's see if I can understand the table. How does it work? Choose a focus column of interest or roll one of the two cross elements with a d4. I'm going to roll a d4. That's so 1. So it's a condition, so that's perfect. That fits the d20. A 2. An atmospheric hazard. So it's got something to do with the air in the room. Atmosphere, maybe. I don't know if that counts as atmosphere. You can comment in the make some comments below in the comment section after. But I'm going to say that the amount of water is now so dangerous inside that every player in here gets denoted one more step. Even, I mean, especially maybe also Curtis because he's a gnome. So he's down to D8 in strength now, and then the big guy is down to a D8 as well, and the little guy is down to a D4. And that makes him, yeah, okay. Okay, so water pours down even more so, maybe because the tower can't withstand the masses, the water, and it makes a bigger pressure on the floor. Maybe, yeah, something like that. The water just rushes down now, and yes, I can't remember which. I just rolled the shift die, so it's Curse's turn. And he has a D8 now, and he's attacking the little guy because the big guy is dead. Okay, you can do this. Come on. One, that's 7. Yeah, little guy is dead. Whoosh! But alas, Marcy and Emir are both dead. I had planned for more dungeon delving. I really like the story about Marcy's voice, but yeah, I think I'm going to stop for today because it's taken some time to do this. But I think we have a really difficult situation on our hands. I mean, Curtis Cutpurse was actually all of a sudden got totally involved in this situation because his good friend Emir wanted to do him a huge favor. And now Emir's foolish actions and, you can say, Marcy's led to the death of both of them. And now he's just a little poor gnome with water up to his neck almost. And he has no idea what is going on. Yeah. that's kind of a low note to end on. But yeah, tune in next time for another episode of Rügsæk. Bye bye.